Hey guys, welcome to DevDom, and in today's video we are going to learn about interrupt method. So let's start. Interrupt is a method used to interrupt a thread. Essentially, it's a polite request asking the thread to stop what it's doing and do something else casually to stop the execution. Interrupt method is used to interrupt the thread. So it means that, suppose a thread is performing some task. So interrupt method stop that task. It says that do another task. Or usually interrupt method is used to stop the execution of the thread. Next, it does not forcefully stop the thread, but instead sets an interrupt flag that the thread can check and respond to. So interrupt method does not forcefully stop the thread. So interrupt method is used to set a interrupt flag. Then the thread will check to respond or not. So let's take an example. Suppose you and your friend have an exam and you both are reading a book. Suppose you does not understanding a concept, you go to your friend and ask, hey, can you stop for a moment and explain me that concept? So your friend is also preparing for the exam and he also reading a book for the exam only. As you go to your friend for the help, then he will stop his reading and help you with your concept that you does not understand. So basically you have interrupted your friend from doing his task. So that is nothing but the interruption. So she will help you with your concept that you does not understand. After that she will also prepare for his exams. This is the real life example of the interrupt method. Now let's see why we use interrupt method. The interrupt method is used when you want to stop long running thread gracefully. So if you want to stop a thread, that thread is running for a long time. So for that purpose the interrupt method is used. Then you want to cancel a task from another thread. So for that the interrupt method is used. Then the thread is stuck in the blocking operations like sleep, wait, or join. So I have discussed these three methods as well, so you can go and watch. So we will take an scenario. Suppose a thread is performing some task, and while performing some task, as a thread gets an interrupt, I have used the sleep method. The thread will pause for 5 seconds and then after 5 seconds it will perform its task. So the interrupt method is used to terminate all the tasks of the thread immediately. So for that purpose the interrupt method is used. So we will see in the practical session. Now let's see the important points related to the interrupt method. So interrupt is not a forceful stop. So it is not a forcefully stop. So we are not forcefully stopping. As an interrupt get to the thread, then the interrupt method will be activated. If the thread is not getting an interrupt, so there is no use an interrupt method. Then you must handle interruption properly in your thread logic. Interrupt method is used to handle the interruption properly. Interrupt method is used to design threads that can shut down cleanly. So the interrupt method is also used to close the thread very efficiently. Let's start with our practical session. So I will create a class here. New, then class. So I will give the package name as com.interrupt and the name of the class as demo. So as you can see, I've created a class and I will extend this class to the thread class. So extend thread. So we will create a method. So public void run, and in this we will run a loop for in I is equal to 0 to I should less than 6 or I gets updated. Now in this we will simply print thread is running. Okay, so we have created a method called as run, and in that we have run a loop. So I will start from 0 to 6 and it will just print thread is running. Now we will create a main method. Now we will create a thread. Okay. So for that we will write demo t1 is equal to new demo. Okay. So I've created a thread and now we will start a thread. Now t1 dot start. So as you can see, I've started the thread. Now let's run the code and see what will be the output. Six times or the 7 times, basically the statement has been printed. Now we will interrupt the thread. So for that we will use sleep method. So we'll write here thread dot sleep, and here we can give the duration in millisecond. So we can give the 1000. After 1 second the statement will be printed. Now here we have to use try and catch block because the thread is interrupting, so it will throw an interruption exception. So we have to handle that exception. So for that we have to use try and catch block. So I've created a try and catch block. Here we can simply give so here thread interrupted. Now let's run the code and see what will be the output. Okay, so after every 1 second the thread is printing the statement. So we can increase the time as well. So if we use 2000 here, so the thread will interrupt for 2 seconds. So we'll run the code again. So as you can see, so after 2 seconds the statement is printing now. Now we will use interrupt method. So here we can simply write t1 dot interrupt. Now let's run the code and see what will be the output. As you can see in the terminal that as a first statement has been printed, the thread is running, then we have get an interrupt. Okay, so this catch block has been called. So as a thread gets an interrupt, so it can stop its execution right now or it will further perform its task. This is all about the interrupt method. So thank you for watching this video.